Good morning, or actually afternoon. It may be afternoon now. This is an impromptu video episode, which I think is episode 138. I was going to do it later in the week, and then I realized that we're having the last of the construction on the siding done over the next few days, and then we also have an electrician coming in to try to fix something. I feel like the place is falling down around us. So there's going to be a lot of foot traffic and noise going on, so I thought it would be better maybe if I jumped in and did it now. So let's do some introductions. Hi everybody, I'm Kelly and this is Loch Briar Knits. I am coming to you from a very beautiful, sunny, warm fall day in Nova Scotia, Canada. I am on the, I'm in the HRM, which is the Halifax Regional Municipality for anybody not close. We are at our cottage today, which is about 30 minutes outside of, like 30 minutes from where we live. I don't know why I put quotes around that. Her quotes. Anyway, so we're on vacation, so we're kind of back and forth a little. We had to go into town. We have to go into town a couple days through the week for different reasons, and then but for the most part, we're going to enjoy our vacation out here. The leaves are just starting to turn. You can see like hints. I'm looking out the window here. You can see like hints of gold. A little bit of red starting to tinge the leaves. I just love this time of year. This is like... So I spilled some water on myself. I think it's dried now. Let's jump in. This is a knitting podcast. So let me just double check here. I have my sweater, a new cast on, an old cast on, a half-finished object, and a plan for an in-progress project that I am going to switch over. By the way, last night I jumped into my chair and stabbed myself in the butt with the knitting needles. Anybody else? Anybody else done that? Like, and I don't mean like it just poked me. I mean it literally. It went through my pants and stabbed me in the butt. It's a dangerous hobby we have. I don't have any of my blockers here, but I finished this. Yesterday. This is knit out of, I want to say she sells seashells. She sees seashells. Something about seashells. It's by Lichen and Lace. It's one I've had in my stash for quite some time. I see seashells. That's her. I'm working on my phone, not my work phone, which is a little fancier, so I don't have like the little button to make things clear if I hold them up close, but we'll power through. So this is the sock that is the gift for my mom's cousin to give to one of her friends for Christmas. So she really liked the pair that my mom had knit her, and so apparently two of her friends wanted some, so she asked if we could make them, or she asked my mom, and my mom asked if I could do a pair. I was going to do two pairs, but my mom finished up her pair early, her two pairs early, so she said she would take back the skein and do the third pair. So I have one done, and then I've got the second one started. I just finished the cuff and started the leg. So my goal is to get this finished before I finish vacation. So that is being kept in my loop bag. So that is my sock sack from the Loop, which is my local yarn store. And I would say the majority of my sock projects are kept in these bags. I have a lot of them. This is another one. I love this one with the like, little sheep on it. This is one. This is a sock project that I cast on. No, it's not. I think I grabbed the wrong bag. Let me just see. Let me just see. I think I grabbed the wrong bag. Okay, apparently I'm not going to be working on that. I thought this was my sock. I have a sock that I was doing on the 9-inch circulars, and it was my first time doing that. And I do find it fiddly. I can't go as fast. And once I get to the heel, which is where I'm almost at, I can't quite wrap my head around how I'm supposed to do the heel flap gusset. So I thought, you know what? It's been sitting for, I'm going to say close to a year. It's been sitting in the bag, and every now and then I'll pick it up, do a couple of rounds. But now that I've got to the point where I need to do the heel flap gusset, I'm just like, I need to switch it over to magic loop. Like, that's my preferred method of doing socks. It's mindless. When I'm doing a sock, I just don't want, it's mindless knitting for me. It's relaxing knitting, so I can just sit there and just not have to worry about it. I'm gonna switch over. So what was actually in this bag was my hat that I was knitting, just kind of my standard slouchy beanie that I like. And I'm at the point now where I'm ready to do the, I got cuff shaping in my head. You know, the top part. I'm clearly operating on vacation brain. So what I am going to do is I always have to look at my pattern because I can never for the life of me remember how I do the decreases, like what the number is every, like, I think for some reason I'm thinking it's every 8 stitches, but I think that's after I get further up. So before I start, I just want to make sure that I start it right. And these are knit. I always do my hats, especially my socket hats anyways, on these needles, which are knit picks, I believe. But I love these needles, like these wooden needles. They're so smooth. Like usually my chiagus are my go-to. That's what I normally use 99% of the time. But if I am knitting hats, these are the ones I gravitate to, especially, I love the marling. I want to say knit picks. I think they are knit picks. For sure. 93% sure. But, so I just need to pull up the pattern, which I have on my computer, and finish that off. So I'm also going to try to finish this off this week. Which that's gonna go fast. This is my September Morn colorway out of my shop. I'm a hand-dyed yarn. I hand-dye yarns. I'm a hand-dyed yarn dyer. Oh Lord. So anyway. That is September Morn. I usually have 3 colorways that I do in the fall, and I do the September one, which is September Morn. I do the October one, which is called Falling Leaves, and then I do the November one, which is called Embers of November. But this year I took a break because there's just so much going on, and I actually still had some falling leaves left from last season because I had made a bigger batch. So those are still in the shop, and those are kind of each one is a little sort of representative of the time of year in this area. So in September, the leaves are just starting to get that hint. You still have like some green as well, but they're just getting that first hint of color. Then in October, where this is where all the color brilliance comes out. So the falling leaves one is much brighter, much more vibrant. If you go into the shop, I've got a link down below that kind of gives you an idea. And then the embers of November is sort of when the leaves are mostly fallen, they're browning, things like that. But there's still some hardy hints of color in some of the leaves, especially I find the gold leaves seem to hang on the longest. But they almost start to get this, like that burnt orange, burnt red, burnt gold look to them. So that's kind of what Embers of November sort of picks up. So this is, and that's kind of, you can kind of see the colorways. So probably next year I will be reviving those, but for now, Falling Leaves is in the shop. And I do find every year when I do these colorways, I change it up just a little bit, just to keep it fresh. So it still kind of has the same idea, but the disbursement of color may be a little different, or, you know, whatever. So that's my hat. That's my hat and my sales pitch. This is another one I would like to finish up today, or no, I keep saying today, this week. It's gonna be a busy day. This is my Freer Fade, which I started many months ago. And I was going gangbusters on it, and then something else caught my attention. I don't even remember what. And I sort of lost steam on it and remembered that I don't really like working with purple. I don't know what it was. It was just one of those days. And then I pull it out and I look at it and I'm like, I'm gonna have to double it up here. I look at it and I'm like, oh, no, I really like that. So because I'm using a sport weight and there's not as much yarn in each skein, I had to like fudge it a bit because I was running out before it was time to change for the next color, so I had to do the fade a little sooner. So we started off with this, and I do not remember the colors. I will put them down below, but let me just see if I have. It's the upcycled alpaca from Knit Picks. So I will put all the colors from them below. But this section here is one that I ran out. So I had to start the last section early. Please don't fall off. So I would really like to get this finished, and I don't really wear purple. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know why I said don't wear it. That's inside out. But I may either, oh, I totally messed my hair. I may either gift this for Christmas, or I may do a giveaway on the channel, and which I did before, I think on my last Freer Fade. This is sort of my go-to shawl pattern when I feel like casting something on, and especially if you want to use up some yarn. I find this is a great project because you can use up, you know, a good amount of yarn because it's fairly large and it has 3 color changes. So it's sort of, and it's mindless. I'm so used to doing it that I find that it's just kind of a really relaxing knit for me. So that is the bag it's in. This is another loop bag, which most of my bags are actually from the loop. I love these. These are like what I use for my sweaters. As you can see, this is the other project that I want to finish. I have not made any progress since the last episode, mostly because, what was I doing? Oh yes, I started something else which is a Christmas knit that I wanted to get started on because I'm a little concerned I'm not going to have time to finish it. But I'm doing the arms. I'm going to cast on the arm. I might do that today. So I should maybe talk about the project a little, Kelly. This is my second attempt at the DRK Everyday Sweater by Andrea Mowry. So this is my second version. I made it a little shorter, so it kind of hits right where my belt would hit on my jean or on my waist. And I am using Mohair Drizzle in, I want to say Stormy Skies? Yeah, Stormy Sky. And that's from SugarBush. And then also this is Juniper Moon Herriott Fine in the Travertine colorway. So I do love the marling that I'm getting with this. It's super soft, it's very gushy, and I'm really looking forward to finishing this and getting it off the needles so I can wear it, especially because it's, we've hit sweater weather. Actually today I'm just walking around in this because it's so warm out. But it's like refreshing warm, not sweltering warm. So my other project, which is in my bag from Mariner's Daughter in Lunenburg. Isn't this gorgeous? It's so funny. I love it. Like the little socks on them. And I think I got one of the last, they have these bags in the shop, but I think I got one of the last ones that was the zipped version, which I'm very glad about. Nothing falls out. So what I am doing is I am making a blanket. So it's going to be very long. So clearly, and this is all still kind of pretty scrunched up. So I think once I take it off, it's going to be kind of maybe more that size, maybe around there. Now, what I am knitting it out of is fisherman's wool. And I am using these two colors and I'm going to stripe them. And my plan is, I was originally going to use the Comfort Throw by Molly Platt, but make thicker stripes. But then I end up just going rogue and casting on 200 stitches. And it's just knitting back and forth. It's literally just, my stripes are going to be much thicker. I cast on more stitches. So I'm probably going to go about to here, and then I'm going to flip it over to this one. It's a nice, I really like this. So my plan is to make this for my brother-in-law as like a TV blanket for Christmas, but I am a little concerned with all the other knitting I'm also doing, so it won't get done in time. But it's only October. I have 3 months. So I think if I kind of say, okay, I have to have one stripe done per week, I should be fine. Because it's not like it's a full length blanket. It's just kind of like a lap blanket for TV. So I think if I do it that way and just sort of break it down, kind of like one stripe like that per week leading up to Christmas, I should have it done in time. I'm not sure though if I should block it or not because it's wool, like it's 100% wool. Is it okay to block 100% wool? Because I don't want to felt it. But does anybody know? Let me know. Let me know down in the comments if 100% wool is okay to like block normally. I know like with superwash, I think it would be, so long as you're like gentle with it, not agitating it, that it shouldn't felt. Let me know. Now, the other thing is, I have to put my glasses on for this. All right, so hopefully the glare isn't too bad in them. I can see a little bit there, but how do I say this? I'm getting kind of bored, I think, with what I'm knitting as far as from a sweater perspective. I feel like my go-to is kind of like a raglan or a drop sleeve plain sweater, which is, there's nothing wrong with that because generally when I wear stuff, that's what I gravitate towards. But I wanted to try some different things. So here's what I thought I would do. I was on Ravelry the other day, which is why I'm bringing my computer up here. I'm going to kind of put them up on the screen. But the first one is called the Lya top by Svetlana Volkova. So it's a sleeveless top. But the thing I like about this one is that it doesn't come out to the shoulders. It kind of comes here and cuts down, which for me, which may sound very strange, but my favorite feature that I have is my shoulders. So I like it when it kind of comes and cuts down like that. The other thing I really like about this pattern is that the tank top is made out of light fingering. And the thing I like about that is if I'm using it as a layering piece, I don't want to be overheated because I have like a DK or worsted weight tank top on and then I've got like another shirt over it or something like that. I think that would just be a little too much. So the fact that that is in light fingering is just, that ticks the box for me that I was looking for. So that is one pattern that I purchased. The other one is the Manhattan Vest by Tori. And what I love about this one is I have a lot of like long sleeve kind of lightweight shirts like this one. And one thing I love about this one, it's got like the high turtleneck, which I love. It's got short, wide sleeves. Look like they'd come to about here, cut on an angle. So I can wear these underneath them. And then it's got like a really high split hem to it. So it would start kind of like here, and then, but the hem is sort of ribbed and about, looks like it's about that long. Like it just looks really, really lovely. And that would be like a lovely layering piece. So that is another one that I purchased. And I don't know if it's Reste or Reste, R-E-S-T-E sweater by Lizzie Hester. The thing I love about this is that it's Sport Plus lace, which gives it a DK. So I could use a DK weight, which I have plenty of DK weight. And I could use that, but also use it because it's got the stripes along the bottom. I can kind of use up some leftover yarn as well that I have from other projects. So that would be a good one. And it's got the, so looks like it's got the folded down collar, which I have been wanting to try, but I also like a good turtleneck that's like high turtleneck. So I may do it with just the high turtleneck. And then it's got like the split hem at the bottom. I do like the split hem. I find at first I was kind of iffy about them, but I do find now that I kind of gravitate towards them more and more because I find I'm always worried about my bind off being too tight, and I don't want to have to do a tubular bind off. Point about that is that I feel like, toss my computer. I just feel like I've been making the same sweater over and over again in a sense. So I just want to kind of branch out and try some different construction. And I'm not really, I love the look of a cabled sweater. I love like ones that have kind of like a bit of a design going through the yoke and stuff like that. And maybe once I retire and I have a little more room in my head for things like that and a little more time on my hands to kind of dedicate to that, I think I will tackle stuff like that. But for now, I just want to mix it up with, there's a couple of colorwork sweaters from Jessica McDonald that I want to do. And I've got some, like the one that I just showed you, has kind of the striping detail, and then these are like the shorter sleeves and the tank top. That's something I've never done before. So I do want to mix it up a little and just sort of like branch out and try some new stuff. So that's what's on the horizon. And I think that is about everything. So I'm gonna go get myself some lunch because the apple pie I had for lunch, I had apple pie for lunch because I'm on vacation. That's worn off. I need some more sustenance. So I'm gonna go do some knitting out on the deck on this beautiful sunny day, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll check in with you later. I'm trying to think when. I'll probably check in with you guys in a couple weeks with the next episode, and then we'll have the October vlog probably shortly thereafter. So until then, happy knitting, and I'll see you soon. Bye.